Hey guys, it's Jan Sarte and I'm back again with another video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about why you do not need to go viral just yet. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Welcome to my channel where we talk about boutiques, e-commerce, business, and all things making money online. Every single day of my life as a coach, someone tells me, I wish I could grow my following. I don't understand why my videos aren't getting as many views as I think they deserve. I just want to grow. I want to expand. I want to be the next whatever other brand, and that's it. But what I find is that nobody understands or has taken the time to consider what is on the opposite end of that. So really, a lot of people want to go viral. They want that like instant success, and what we haven't thought about is what potentially is going to be the result of the virality. So are we going to end up with a bunch of orders that we can't package because we're a one-man team? Or are we going to end up with a bunch of customer service requests and we're the only person handling the inbox? Or are we going to end up with a bunch of new followers that are complaining in the comments? So on and so forth. There are so many different things that may occur as a result of going viral, but the sucky part is we're often only considering the money. We're like, I want to make all the money in the world. I want all the customers in the world, and you don't have the business structure, the team structure, the systems, the automations, or any of the things that you need to be able to manage that successfully. So we're going to talk about 5 things that you'll want to consider as you are considering going viral. Not that that's something that you can plan for or something that you can like make happen, but if that's something that you desire, we want to make sure that you are clear about what is necessary on the opposite end of that for it to play out the way you want it to play out. Okay, so the first thing that you want to make sure that you have if you're trying to go viral or hoping that you go viral is a lead generation strategy. Now, when I talk about collecting leads, I mean like getting email subscribers, getting text subscribers. Those people who join your list are called leads, and the importance of collecting leads when and if you go viral is because most people that follow a brand during their like viral moment or that interact with content during that viral moment aren't in fact going to purchase anything. They may go to your website, and let's say that a bunch of them go to your website. 9 times out of 10, you don't have enough inventory to serve those people, which ultimately impacts your ability to make the money that you want to make or to be able to even get the sales that you think that you deserve because of the amount of traffic that you got. So you want to make sure you have a lead generation strategy in place so that when and if you go viral and you don't in fact have enough inventory to serve those people, at least you get their email addresses or their phone numbers so that you can continue to market to them as you wait for new inventory to come, as you wait for the restock to occur, whatever the case may be. So a lead generation strategy may look like obviously having a pop-up on your website that collects email subscribers, but it could also be changing the call to action on that piece of viral content to say, comment the word blah 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 below, and then you have like an automation system that collects leads for you, or that like sends out a DM to every single person that commented that word, and then they could like click a link to sign up for your email or your text list or something along those lines. It could also be like changing the link in your bio to send people to a landing page where they can sign up for your emails or your text list instead of sending them to a website where you no longer have any product available. So if you're planning, and again, we can't plan for going viral, but if you are like, every single day when I post, my hope is that I go viral, you want to make sure that you have a lead generation strategy intact. Going viral without a lead generation strategy intact is going to be a disaster. Now, outside of collecting the leads, you also want to have automation set up on the back end to nurture these new leads. So nurturing means that you are sending emails, automated emails or automated text messages to these new subscribers. So for example, when I join, or when people join my email list at my online boutique, the first email that they receive gives them a coupon code that they can use on their first purchase. The next email might be like a plain text email that's from me as the founder of the brand, and I'm just telling them a little bit more about the business, why I started it, all that good stuff, and then so on and so forth. Those are automated though. So again, if you are trying to go viral, you want to collect the leads, but you also want to have some type of email marketing strategy in place so that you can continue to nurture these people. Now let's move on to topic number 2 as to what's important if you are trying to go viral. Okay, so I had to grab my notes because I accidentally started talking about point number 2 when I was talking about point number 1. So point number 2 is, do you have email sequences in place when and if you go viral? So we already talked briefly about like my welcome series, where people are going to obviously get welcome to the list, but get to know a little bit more about the brand, the products, the founder, so on and so forth. But other email sequences that you might want to have set up are going to be an abandoned cart sequence, a browse abandonment sequence, so on and so forth. Thank you sequence if they purchase something. If they're signing up for restock alerts, you can set up email automations that are sent to people who specifically sign up for restock alerts. You want to have something that is set up for all of those potential actions. So not that this is a video about understanding the buyer's journey, but it's important to understand the buyer's journey, because even though you went viral and now you have all of these eyes, you just went viral and you have a bunch of eyes. That doesn't mean that it translates to sales. That doesn't mean that it translates to money in your bank account. You have new eyes and new people that may have a level of interest in your business or your products. It's still your job to market your brand and your products at the end of the day. So don't expect to go viral and now your whole business is just booming. That might be a one day, one situation type of thing. But if you have sequences, automations, all that good stuff set up on the back end, it could potentially end up being very promising for you down the line. Again, when and if you're able to continue to get those products back in stock, or if you get a new or fresh collection. So a welcome series, abandoned cart series, browse abandonment, thank you series. Those are like some key ones that you definitely want to have set up. Okay, so point number 3 is, do you have a inventory and pricing strategy in place? Are you buying the inventory strategically? Are you pricing it strategically? Do you have a budget? A budget to continue to buy inventory? Do you have money sitting and available in your bank account to restock the inventory if you need to restock it in the moment? For the large majority of people, the answer is no. And don't get me wrong, there was once upon a time that I did not have either of those things. No inventory strategy, no pricing strategy, no budget, no money in the bank waiting to be spent. So I am not an accountant. I'm not a financial advisor, any of those things. However, what I can say is that the most valuable thing that I have learned as it relates to my finances is the profit first method. And basically what the profit first method does is it requires you to open separate bank accounts that are going to be used for specific purposes. So for example, I have an inventory account, and every 2 weeks I make a transfer from my revenue account to my inventory account. And it's just a percentage of that money. So for example, I want to say currently 35% of my revenue gets allocated over into my inventory account. And the reason that I do that is so that I always have money available to spend on inventory. I also have a percentage of my revenue that gets allocated over into my marketing account. And this point isn't about marketing, but I'm gonna just throw it in there. Imagine like going viral and you don't have the money to get more inventory. You don't have a budget. You didn't have a pricing strategy. So really you didn't even make a profit on the inventory that you sold. But now you got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people interested in a product that you can't get your hands back on. And let's say that you do have the money to put the inventory or get the inventory back in stock. But let's imagine that you don't have any email sequences set up. You didn't have a lead generation strategy. You don't know how to run ads, so you can't retarget these people. It's all for nothing. It's all for nothing at this point. And I was bringing up marketing because for also, just like the inventory account, I have a marketing account, and by having that money set aside for marketing, I also am able to run ads. So let's say that I have the ability to get the inventory back, but let's say that I was lacking in the lead generation area. Well, I could still run ads to retarget every single person that interacted with a piece of content or a post or ad, or even a specific video on my social media pages. So there's still an opportunity for me to get back in front of them without me relying on going viral again. So you definitely want to have an inventory strategy in place. And by inventory strategy, I just mean like, how often are you buying inventory? What specifically are you buying? Even having like a restocking system if necessary, if you do restocks. Pricing is really important because, like I said, you might sell all the inventory, but you might not have made much of a profit. Let's say the product was on sale and it's like, dang, it was on sale, I was only making a 10% profit. Like, it's not going to equal out at the end of the day, honey. So inventory pricing strategy is going to be so important towards your ability to get the inventory back, to get something else in general. But then also having a budget. Like, is it even in your budget to be able to afford more inventory? Very, very important. All right, let's move on to point number 4. Okay, so point number 4 is all about marketing. Do you have a marketing strategy? So do you have marketing goals? Do you have messaging? Do you have visuals? Now, this isn't to say that you gotta switch from being small business to big business overnight, but this is to say that you now have all of these new eyes on your brand, and everybody's expectation is going to be different. Like, we can't project whether or not someone expects to see your brand show up on social media every single day for the next however many weeks. We can't expect that. We don't know that they have any expectations whatsoever, but we can set expectations for ourselves as pertains to marketing. We can have the expectation to post at least twice a day. We can have the expectation to be sending an email at least once or twice a week. We can have the expectation to always have retargeting ads running, so on and so forth. So a lot of times people go viral, but they don't have a marketing strategy at all, and they have that one random piece of content that like blows up, you know, a TikTok or a reel or whatever, and they end up with all these people commenting and sharing and so on and so forth. But just going back to all the other points of the things we've talked about, if you don't have a way to collect the email subscribers, you have nobody to send an email to. If you don't have a budget to run ads, you're not going to be able to retarget the people that interacted with that content but didn't go to your website. If you don't have a inventory and pricing strategy as well as a budget, you're not going to be able to restock the inventory that you need. And if you don't have a marketing strategy, then it's all for nothing at the end of the day, because you still need to market the product. And marketing isn't just posting. Marketing is you having an email marketing strategy, it's having a lead generation strategy, it's having a retargeting strategy, so on and so forth. So do you have a marketing strategy? If this works the way that you want it to work and you get all the eyes that you want, and even if you get the sales that you want, do you have something in place to keep it moving? Do you have something in place to get those people to come back? Because I don't know about y'all, but I don't want any like one-time customers. I want the type of customers that continuously come back. I want the type of customers that refer my business to their friends and their families and things of that nature. So those are things that you want to consider. Do I have a strategy in place to keep this moving forward? Now, let's go on to the last point. Okay, so the last point is, do you have a post-virality strategy? So post-virality, meaning when your moment dies, what you gonna do? And that kind of has something to do with what we were just saying for point number 4. This moment won't be forever. Social media moves so fast. The thing that we love today, we might hate tomorrow. The things that were on trend today may be the worst things ever tomorrow. People may love you today and they be talking mess about you tomorrow. What you gonna do? Okay, like that is what I want you to think about. So not to say that you gotta like die in the moment or whatever, but your moment will die. That virality moment will die. And that's not to say your business can't continue to thrive after it, but more so to say like that piece of content is going to stop performing at some point. It's going to stop moving. It's going to stop being shared. It's going to stop being commented on, so on and so forth. So some of the things that you could potentially do after going viral, and more so like in the viral moment, is run an ad. run that piece of content as an ad. I always say that anything that performs well organically will run very well or work very well as an advertisement. When you put money behind something that's already moving, it just moves faster. So make it an ad. You can also create what's called a custom audience of every single person that has engaged with a poster ad on your page. And if it is on Instagram and or Facebook and it's a reel specifically, you can actually create a custom audience of people who watch that specific video. And by doing that, you're going to be able to market to that audience in particular. So let's say you had 100,000 people or 100,000 views on a reel on Facebook or Instagram. You could go create an audience of everybody who watched that video in particular, and you could literally create a piece of content that was created specifically for them. So it could be like, let's say the video was you working at the warehouse or at your office or at your house or whatever, and let's say you were just packing orders on your floor. So the next video that you choose to show as an ad, when you retarget that audience, can say something like, and now that you guys have seen our packing process, we wanted to show you shipping your orders out. Or like, we wanted to highlight 3 of the orders that we're sending. Order number 725 is for Erica in New York, and we just want to thank you, so on and so forth. So if you're going to retarget that audience, you want the next piece of content that they see to be something that relates back to the first piece of content that they saw, so that it correlates, it makes sense, it aligns, versus it being something that looks totally different, is about something totally different, so on and so forth. So that's not only one thing that I'm speaking of, but obviously we've talked about emails, we've talked about lead generation, we've talked about your pricing, your inventory, your marketing, so on and so forth. Those are all things that you want to consider as you are creating a post virality strategy. So always remember that, yes, anybody can go viral. It's kind of like one of those things that happens every blue moon for someone. Like, I've had quite a few reels that like randomly got 100,000 or over 100,000 views, and honestly, like, I wasn't expecting it, because I don't know that is going, when or if that's going to happen. But what helped me in those moments, even when the inventory sold out, was having all of these things in place. Having a back-end stock system set up, having email automation set up, having ads that continuously run that showcase my best-selling products so that they stay in front of them. All of those things help me in a viral moment, and also post that viral moment. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I haven't discouraged you from going viral. Virality, it's a thing, it's possible, but I don't want you to like rely on that being like your key to success. There are tons of businesses in this world who are extremely successful, who've never gone viral. So don't bank on that being like your claim to fame. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.